Okay, so here is the thing. RV renovation and giving your RV a makeover does not have to break the bank. In fact, there are some things that you can do today, in fact, that are really inexpensive that can dramatically change how your RV looks. And we're gonna get into those in just a few minutes. But let me just start this video off by telling you, we are not professional DIYers by any stretch of the imagination at all.
And I know we want to put flooring in. That's a crap ton of work.
Neither Ben or myself have any sort of background in any of the trades or anything like that at all. So everything that we have learned and we have done has been a learning by doing and research process. And the more we do it, the more we feel confident of maybe being able to tackle a bigger project and a bigger project. So in this video, we're gonna give you lots of tips and tricks of things that you can do, not being a professional DIYer, that's not gonna break the bank. Let's jump in. Number one thing that you can do right now, super cheap, is peel and stick backsplash. Now you could do this in a bathroom. We actually did it in this kitchen area. So in this whole area, it used to be like these awful mirrors. So we pulled those off and put up this peel and stick backsplash. And now here's the thing, it's been close to about 3-ish years. And this has actually held up really great. No issues with it coming off. And it was really inexpensive. All right, so the next thing on a budget that we did was actually with the flooring. So a lot of people like to use the vinyl planking, like the click together stuff, and like that stuff looks amazing, right? But a couple of things, we didn't feel very confident in trying to attack that ourselves. So what we did was actually a roll out sheet vinyl instead that looks very similar. I will tell you a couple of things that we learned, maybe some mistakes, if you will, using that. However, in our particular RV where the slides come in and out, we actually had where it rubbed through a little bit on some of the bolts that like go through the frame. And it also in corners, if you don't get it cut exactly, it is really hard to like patch in pieces. But overall, like if you walked into our RV, you wouldn't even know where the problem areas are unless I pointed them out to you. Okay, so the next really easy way to brighten up any space in an RV for cheap is really just to paint the walls. Now, I've got another wall brightener tip for you in just a few minutes, but first on paint, couple of things. Do not remove the wallpaper that the RV already has. It's actually a protective coating, and underneath that, you're gonna find just plywood. So unless you really like that painted plywood look, just paint over the existing wallpaper that is there. Now, I used the One Coat Hide Bear paint from Home Depot. It worked really, really well. But something to remember is you actually do want to use a roller as much as you can, and then save a brush for those places where you need to cut in. If I had to do it all over again, I actually would have just gotten mostly rollers, but gotten some that were bigger and then some that were smaller to be able to get into those small spaces, because the paint just looks better when it's rolled on versus when it's brushed on. You tend to see some of those brush marks after the fact. The next thing to brighten things up, give it a little bit of a different look, is actually by using some peel and stick wallpaper. So we've done this in a couple of different areas of the RV. It's not very expensive. And here's the thing, especially if you choose an area where the walls aren't funky or wonky or have too many other things going on, like we did on these walls here. It's really, really easy to install. It's also really easy to find. So you can find peel and stick wallpaper at Walmart, Lowe's, Home Depot, and on Amazon. And it's just a really easy way to give things a new look. And then here's the bonus. If you don't like it in a couple of years, it's really easy to take off and put something else up. So the next really cheap and easy thing that you can do when it comes to RV renovation or just brightening up, changing the way that a space looks, is peel and stick window film. So we actually applied some of this window film on windows where we knew we didn't necessarily use that window to be able to like look outside or to be able to get a view of what's around us, but we still wanted that light to be able to come in to have that natural daylight. So we've got 3 different areas in the RV where we have put this window film. It's really, really super easy to install. And then I've got something else regarding windows that I'm going to show you in just a couple of minutes. All right, time to confess. I tend to be a little overly ambitious sometimes. And now that we're actually like in the month of February, I realize that many of the New Year's resolutions that I wrote down might be just a little harder to implement than maybe I originally thought. And I mean, Ben can definitely tell you that when it comes to projects and plans, I tend to severely underestimate the work or time involved to implement said project or plan. So that's why I'm really glad that one easy change to implement is cutting down on things that take up way too much space. And that is why I love using these laundry sheets from EarthBreeze, which is the sponsor of this video. Now, EarthBreeze is a laundry soap, but it's in a sheet format. It almost looks like a dryer sheet and comes in a slim cardboard box that is also degradable. With a smaller washer dryer unit in our RV, I can tear the laundry sheets in half because just half a sheet is all I need, since EarthBreeze is tough on stains and removes odor. And I do feel better about using EarthBreeze for our laundry soap since no plastic jugs or bags are needed. And if you've been on the road for any length of time, you know that finding recycling at campgrounds is really no easy task. The laundry sheets dissolve quickly in water in any machine, including our smaller RV-sized unit. You can get started by going to earthbreeze.com/gratefulglamper to get started with 40% off. That's earthbreeze.com/gratefulglamper for 40% off your subscription. And if EarthBreeze doesn't end up being the change you're looking for when it comes to laundry on the go, you don't even have to return it. Just let them know and get a full refund, no questions asked. And a huge thanks to EarthBreeze for sponsoring this video and their support of our channel. All right, so let me tell you about something that I absolutely cannot stand. And this is how like most RVs are and most RVs are coming. And that is the window boxes or the valances that RV manufacturers put into most RVs. Now, you have to remember this RV is now 20 years old. And the window boxes that were in this thing, holy cow, they were the ugliest things that I ever saw. And so that was literally one of the first things that we knew absolutely had to go. And it's crazy when you take them off, how much it really opens up and brightens up the space, but you still have to have some sort of window covering. Now, we tried some sort of curtain option at first. Yeah, that just did not work out well. So what we have now, and this has been working out great, are these roller shades. So these are actually like a cut to fit from Home Depot. So they come in different lengths, and then you measure and you tell them what you need and they cut it right there. And then you just come back and you install it. And these have worked great and they're really inexpensive. All right, so the next thing that you can do really inexpensively to renovate and upgrade your RV space is actually with lighting. So we put in these LED lights from Leisure Coachworks. We'll have a link in the description below. They also do have a store on Amazon, but these particular ones are dimmable, so you can actually turn up the brightness or you can dim it down. And this is a nice replacement, makes it feel super high end. Just with our RV, it makes it feel a little bit less dated. All right, so once that you've got your space kind of really the way that you want it, one of the things that we all enjoy doing is decorating. And so literally probably one of the biggest questions that we get asked all of the time in the comment sections is about our photos that we have on the wall. So this is from a company called Mix Tiles. No affiliation, sponsorship whatsoever. I personally bought and paid for every single one of these, but I just really, really like them because you can actually unstick them from the wall. They don't leave any damage or cause any damage to the paint or wallpaper in this particular instance. You can move them to another part of the RV. You can switch them out, which we've done several times just to update the photos. But I love having all of the memories from the places that we've traveled with our family now over the last 5 years in our RV. Another place that I love to look for decor that's easy, lightweight is IKEA. So I actually like to use a lot of the fake plants from IKEA. And then I actually found this little traveler sign from IKEA, which I thought was perfect for the RV. So the next thing that we did renovation wise was actually come up with our own custom bed solution for the kids. So when we first started RVing, we just had 2 couches. The kids slept on those. So after a while, the kids just didn't want to sleep on couches anymore. I get that. So we built some custom bunks to fit the space that we had. So now all of the lumber for that only cost $210. And we put those together, and that worked for several years until our kids grew even more. So now we actually have built a couple of like day bed couches so that they have just a more comfortable place to sleep, but we can also use it as furniture for those times when maybe the kids aren't along, or at some point later on down the road, they probably won't want to travel with us because the goal is that they will leave at some point. So that is the goal, that they shall fly the nest. Anyway, I digress. All right, so next on the list is something that I literally have been like, why did I not find this particular thing sooner? But these little sconce lights, so this is like magnetic, they're USB rechargeable, so you can use your 12-volt power to charge them. And they're just touch. You can actually like turn up the brightness by touching the back. But the beautiful thing about this is because that they're magnetic, you can kind of pivot them wherever you want, or you can pull it off and use it as like a flashlight if you need to get up and use the bathroom in the middle of the night or something like that. So these are really inexpensive. They're on Amazon. I will put a link in the description below. I'm loving these. We have them in several places in the RV now. All right, so a quick little bonus tip. If you have one of these Norcold style refrigerators, and a lot of the other RV refrigerators can be very similar, but check this out. So this little plastic trim that is on the side actually just pops off, and then you can take this off, slide this out, paint it, and then reinstall it. It's a really, really quick and easy way to give this a makeover for cheap. Then they sort of outgrowed. Holy, they were the ugliest thing. Wait a minute. I don't know why the door did that. Should we redo this? Keep going. How do I say it? Can I say on YouTube? Can I say that? I'm having trouble with the communications today. So now here's the deal. If you want to look at some of these types of renovations that we have done a little bit more in depth, step by step, I've got a bunch of videos right up here that show you all of that. If we don't see you out on the road or around the campground, we'll catch you in the next video.